This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News. News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Tell the whole story or what you want?
Oh yeah, well, where we go from there, like the story about this wonderful day.
Okay, you want me to tell you how it all happened and everything?
Yeah, yes sir.
Okay.
If like necessary, I'm
okay.
Let's try to get this stuff straight now.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me, man. I know you.
Oh yeah, this is important, you know, and I'm in business for myself, but I stay way too busy to be able to handle.
Right.
So
that's a blessing in itself, right?
Well, yeah. Right now, I'm painting a mural for North Charleston. I might be painting a mural for 98 Rock. I'm making a bunch of artwork for an art show. I'm helping put and curate a show for Daniel Allen out at the tennis courts, and painting 2 commissions, and then coming up with a design for a sculpture for Hanahan Wildfire Park.
I would think that you asking the Most High, being blessed for that.
Yeah.
Doing the right work. So I want to get you, Mr. Hyman. Can you state your name for the record?
My name is Phillip, P-H-I-L-L-I-P, Hyman, H-Y-M-A-N.
Brother Hyman, it's an honor to have you on, and We All Be today. And you're going to talk about this inspiration that you did, this masterpiece of a work. Is a hooded angel, and we're actually at the site of where Walter Scott was assassinated by North Charleston Police, Michael Slager.
Murdered.
Murdered, yes sir. So I want to get your take on how you was able to come up with this incredible work of art, and just anything you want to add.
Basically, I knew something wasn't right with the whole case. I could feel that deep in my heart. 2 days before the video came out, I was trying to find the location. Once I had found the location, I was less than 20 feet away from where he actually passed. Well, on the way home, I found a piece of plywood, decided to do this angel. The image came immediately, already done. It was a matter of me just getting it out of my body. I ended up doing it that night, and my wife took a picture. I showed her a picture of it on the cell phone. The next morning I was woke up by 95SX, TJ and Tanya, 2 girls and a guy. She was sitting there saying that she had been waiting 4 minutes, absorbing the beauty of the piece, and then she put it on the internet and it went around the world. But the main thing that I did it for was I had seen 6 people murdered in my life. I knew how this was going to affect the family themselves. The whole concentration of the angel was to keep the focus on the family and their grieving in the process and not the circus that it became. So I was so proud that all 4 different protest groups used this for their symbol, that people came to touch it and send positive messages to their family through this piece. And it was carried, it didn't have a stand, so people had to carry it and interact with it all the time that it went. To any type of protest. If I was not there to carry it, somebody made sure that they were at my house to pick it up to be there. So it has great energy, and it's really, even people were asking when the funeral, why didn't they see the angel? I told them because simply the family's grieving and the angel is going back and hiding and going and grieving. So it was really there for the time that it needed to be there for the family, and that was the whole concentration.
Oh wow, it's incredible. Like, you know, I guess we're looking at North Charleston now. This is not Charleston, South Carolina, but this is North Charleston, a town in and of itself, correct?
Yes.
A lot of people get that confused. But can you tell like the background of this situation? Is there a lot of racial conflict in North Charleston?
Well, a lot of people aren't really talking about the issues that are deep behind this. We have had a former shooting less than 5 years ago of a mentally ill person less than half a mile down Rivers Avenue. But at that time they took the camera away from him and broke it, and then they were not able to have the video. So this has been a problem from before. When the city of North Charleston was incorporated, certain neighborhoods which were predominantly black and of low income neighborhoods were omitted. To this day they have not been incorporated into the system. It just shows you there is a systemic prejudice that is happening here. This is one symptom of things that are happening. We have neighborhoods that have bulldozers that are taking them out. The city of North Charleston is the largest landowner in the state of South Carolina. They can take over property. They can deem what the property can be used for and upgrade the zoning of the property and benefit from the sales of that property themselves as a city. This is also, certain areas are targeted because they have bulldozers in them. If you go to certain neighborhoods in North Charleston, you'll find bulldozers in Accoby neighborhood, Liberty Hill neighborhood. These are 2 of the historic neighborhoods. The first neighborhood in the city of North Charleston was Liberty Hill. 4 black freedmen won their independence during the Civil War, come out and bought 200 acres of land, called it Liberty Hill. That is really one of the first neighborhoods in the city of North Charleston. If you see it now, there's a bulldozer in the middle of it, and you see them taking houses down. Most probably, if you go by there today, you might even actually witness that.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like I just came from Baltimore. It's like they doing some of the same stuff they doing in Charleston in terms of like eminent domain, gentrification. I know John Hopkins is bound up all this area where black folks stayed at and really forcing folks out their homes. They've been in their homes for generations.
Yes, and another way it is approached by increasing tax base downtown and then going and moving certain people out of the neighborhood because they can't no longer afford the tax base for their houses downtown without any supplement of income which can be available to these people through federal grants.
Well, actually this, because I know people talk about Ferguson and how it had so many traffic stops, you know, that people have found out about because of the Department of Justice investigation. But it's like, you know, what I'm hearing from you and other people, it's like North Charleston is Ferguson on steroids when it comes to police intimidation and terrorism.
I really can't comment much about that. I'm a neighborhood council president for 10 years who has been extorted by, I wouldn't say extorted, but I've been represented by my code enforcement officer that brought charges up for me, and then the charges, I got 6 months probation with him going to court representing me. I was represented by the head of code enforcement by the city of North Charleston. They put me on 6 months more probation. This is after my shop burned down. They were writing me stuff for underneath the azaleas before I even took the building down for my shop burning down. So this is the way that they treat a neighborhood council president of 10 years. So, but I'm not politically correct. I have always been that way. I've painted murals at schools and had programs for kids at risk, and they know that.
So you believe you're being targeted for your activism as well as for your art, the type of art you do?
I think that in the city of North Charleston that it would be anybody of dissension, whether they be an activist or not. But because I was a neighborhood council president, they know where I stand, so they know who I am, and they know where I live, and they know I'm an artist, so I build sculptures so they can come at any time, and I'll be under violation at any time.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, like, what has Walter Scott family said about your work of art?
They know of me. I met, my wife met Walter Scott's cousin the other day through another point of destiny. And they know of me and I know of them, but because of the circus with CNN and everything, we haven't really communicated to each other. And I'm not supposed to be there yet. The family is way too raw right now, and I didn't realize I am too, because when my wife told me that she talked to Walter Scott's cousin, I just broke down.
Right.
And this is bringing a lot of stuff up for me, but also I've had to become part of this, whether I wanted to or not. Now I am. So people don't realize that's a hard thing to carry sometimes. Right. You know. So the time will be right, and just like with meeting his cousin and in knowing of the family and hearing from them, they definitely know about me and I know of them, and what this was done for. When the time is right, it will be there. You know, I'm a firm believer. It has shown itself the whole time through this whole process.
So have you ever got a chance to talk to Mr. Santana, the one who captured everything on his cell phone camera?
I've heard back and forth through other people about him also. Me and him have to step outside our comfort zones to be a part of this. We were both, I think, the understanding from me and him both, we were divinely led to this event. Again, it's not an easy job. He made a decision, and he was at more risk than I was to process this. And that is our common bond of communication. But that's really all I know of him. But he knows of me and I know of him, you know, and we've communicated through other people, you know.
That's great. I was thinking about, well, I'm talking to you, people walking by this thing where he got killed there, right? This is the spot.
Yes.
It's like you would never know that all this went down so peaceful and quiet and beautiful back here, but you never know all this ugliness went on just 2 months ago.
Well, if you drive around this neighborhood, you'll see these boarded up houses right here in this area. You just saw police department come in here again. They've already stopped me once, asking me what I'm doing here. So there's a symptom of the problem. That was all shut down when CNN was here. Okay. Now you're coming in later. You can witness these things. Okay. So, and again, Baltimore, you can relate there also. So, but yes, it was like Twilight Zone to see how the area was sanitized when CNN was here and then the press was here.
So who owns this property right here? I mean,
it's owned by the owner of Megapond, right up there. And that's why we did have a memorial here. It is actually his property, so you can see where the things were tied here, and now it's taken down, you know.
So they're trying like nothing ever happened, because if you come here, like you said, this now is June the 1st, and something happened 2 months ago, you would never know anything like that went down.
Yes, and that's why even with you, I have to show you where this is now. Right. But this was a community for lower income families. This was a trailer park here where actually people lived and congregated and children played not too long ago.
Wow, it's incredible.
Yes.
So what is the movement? Is there a movement here, like some type of social justice movement? It's like it's so quiet. I guess came from the Spoleto Festival, whatever they call it. It's like a lot of, you know, in Charleston, people that's very cheerful, they happy to get drunk and marry. But it belies the issue here. There's it's like a lot of turmoil here that's being kept quiet.
Yes.
So is there any type of movement going on?
Black Lives Matter, I've been involved with them. They're part of a movement, and then we have a lot of the ministers in Charleston, North Charleston in particular. But I am really upset myself with the response from the NAACP. Was really, I mean, even though they were there, a lot of people missed this opportunity to make changes on this earth, and they didn't realize that it was more about getting FaceTime and then they didn't realize the seconds were clicking, and that's what I know because I've actually made changes.
Right.
So I was rather upset about the councilmen for the neighborhoods, the city councilmen for city of North Charleston, which were of color. Mm-hmm. Where were they with this? Mm-hmm. You know, and even the way that the city of North Charleston operated with this, mm-hmm. they left and walked down on most of the interviews. That's their way of handling it. They said he was guilty after the video. Mm-hmm. If you read the police reports still to this date aren't correct. Mm. You know, people don't know or to ask, why is these things like that? Right. Why were the other two officers that blatantly did not follow protocol and administer medical health not charged? Right. Like they were in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. The reason why they gave him a murder charge, why did they do that so quickly? Because they know it's hard to prove. The person that they have investigating the case has already been proven biased to the police, mm-hmm. the family, and even other people are trying to get this person off of the case, and we can't do anything about it. Do we have any sense that this is going to be taken care of again? This is the one opportunity to make things right here, and things are continuing. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh, that's incredible. So what's going on with Michael Slager? Is he in jail? I mean, I haven't heard anything since April about what's going on with Slager.
Well, that's been very quiet. Even as far as the information on the investigation and the status of where it is, has been almost withheld. A lot of people are trying to get the proper information and not getting a lot of response in cooperation. There is cooperation, but it's not forthcoming. It's very hard to get any results.
Do you see that it's like kind of strange? I mean, it's been 2 months.
Well, I mean, I grew up in North Charleston again, you know, and I will suffer repercussions of even saying this. Mm-hmm. But you know, somebody's got to start doing it, and I've been doing it all my life. Mm-hmm. But people need to really start stepping it up and doing this, and putting themselves at risk to say when something's not right. You know, it's so easy, and things don't get any better if we don't.
That's true. Like, no, I want to ask you this because I know you got the internet now. You got all this unfiltered information coming out here. Mm-hmm. A lot of misinformation. But I've been looking at things with people saying that what happened here on April 4th, 2015 wasn't real. Like, you know, Walter Scott wasn't actually killed. It's crisis actors. It's a false flag. It's everything but the reality. And what do you say to that when people say stuff like that?
I can well assure you that every bit of that was real. And that I've heard from so many people in the family, from people here that knew him, that came here for a week, that didn't even let me know who they were until after a week of seeing me here also. Right. Those people would not come with that urgency. I've actually had to hold up a friend of his, which was a 220-pound Marine. Who at the site one night, me and him on a trespass violation, had a conversation. He, again informed me. I know who Walter is now. I've been, told by so many people who he was. Even through this experience, I've kind of come to know him.
That's cool. That's cool. It's good to know. Also, I'm concerned, like you talk about the Black Lives movement. It's like these are national movements, and you talk about the leadership. What about the young people? What's been the response to young people? Are they galvanized? Are they organized?
Well, the Black Lives Matter. We had an older faction and a younger faction. They weren't communicating together. They weren't paying homage to the people that have already been there. So I had to witness a lot of these things, along with CNN serving up crack every 5 minutes.
Crack.
Yeah. So, it's been a hard view of humanity to see, to be part of. But I think that there's a lot of concern. Just people have to really get past prejudice and learn how to work together. And if we were in South America or Cuba, we would not be talking about a person's color of their skin. You are Cuban, you are black, you are white, you are all different colors. If we were in South America, if you're Brazilian, you're black, you're brown, you're white. Only America really focuses on these problems. And if people saw, I've always been a human being first, and I've always seen people's souls and don't really care about the color of the skin. If they have an ugly soul there, I don't want to be around them. Whether you're white or black, I don't care. You know, and I see a lot of people through their soul. You know.
Well, how can people find out more your beautiful work? I mean, how can we get in touch with you if people want to get a commission on that?
Well, as far as artwork, I do anything from 23-foot Tyrannosaurus Rexes to 8-foot boxes of popcorn for people. I just recently a 10-foot Cyclops puppet and a 6-headed dragon that eats 5 people in 2 minutes for Odysseus, a play. I paint murals around town. If you go down King Street and Spring Street, you'll see flying babies and flying pigs. Behind the tin roof, you'll see when this moon, super moon was over Moore, Oklahoma, I was painting a mural of Dorothy arriving at the Wizard of Oz at the same time underneath the same super moon when they were cleaning up Moore, Oklahoma, and benefit to raise money for Moore, Oklahoma tornado victims. Look at eyeballlart@yahoo.com. It would be my email. You can friend me on Facebook at Phillip Hyman on Facebook and check out my artwork. But I also put together art shows for kids and adults and for people at risk. You'll see eyeball art shows, like the eyeball in your head, eyeball art shows on Facebook. Check that out and you'll see some of the installations, murals, and other products that I've made.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to get you. So you said you had a near-death experience.
Yes, I died 5 years ago. Well, 6 years ago now. Going on, right before I died, a thing went through my brain. I was very, very upset. Had overwhelming feelings that I would never be able to see my daughter again, who I love greatly. And with this experience. Later, it was like a week afterwards of me revisiting the site late at night at 3:30 at night under violation of trespassing. I got the message clear that I was put into this. He loved his mother greatly. When he was the last couple of breaths, I really have a feeling that what was going through his brain was he was never going to be able to tell his mother how much he loved her. And I'd heard through the points that he was very, very attached to his mother, and she was very attached to him in particular. That's the real reason why I did the angel and was part of this, but you know, I even have more gifts to give her as a result of that. And I have to tell her and the guy that was in the car with him. I know I'm supposed to meet him and then tell him that a message from him also.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you saying, my understanding is that Walter Scott was going to the Advanced Auto Parts up here.
Yes. He was going to get his taillight was out. He was actually going to try to buy a taillight when the whole incident started. The person pulled him over in the Advanced parking lot. That's where the actual incident started.
So why do you feel like he ran, or why did he run? I mean, people want to know, like, why did he run out the car?
Yeah, a lot of people can't really believe that, and they say if you're guilty, you run. What a lot of people don't understand, if you come from a neighborhood who's constantly being barraged, your chances of justice are basically none. So a lot of people with that pretty much give up, and what are their choices except for try to escape and flee. You know, we are human beings. We do have a fight or flight method that is already instilled of us with animals. You know, whatever problems arise, a threat of death, we have adrenaline runs through our body to help us run and fight
But my understanding is also that he didn't want to go to jail at all. That he was.
Yes, he was a type of person. He was a self-made man. Could do about anything, from my understandings. He could fix anything, make anything. A Renaissance man. So in his life, I don't think that he could really function in the prison system.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And that's how I get some closing words and thoughts. Thank you for taking so much time to talk to us about what's very important right now. It should be a priority for everybody. But you got any closing words or thoughts you'd like to share?
Yes, I'm glad that people from around the country are taking interest in this story. It's a problem, yes, in Charleston, yes, in Ferguson, but it's really in your neighborhood, I'm sure. It's around the world. We need to really start addressing this. And it's not about economics, it's about humanity. It's about treating a person with respect. No person should die in that manner with that amount of disrespect. He's a human being. That's what this should be all about.
Thank you, Brother Hyman. In the words of the late great Duke Ellington, we love you madly and keep on producing and pushing, sir.
Okay, thank you.